Thank you guys all for being here tonight. I want to thank the City of Toronto, Rogers Centre, and Scotiabank just for Arena for being just incredible partners to us in this whole journey of getting here. I want to thank the fans in Canada, and honestly, the fans from around the world. We had fans here tonight from 43 U.S. states and 37 different countries from around the world came here to Toronto to be a part of this. Sorry if I'm breathing hard. It's embarrassing. It's a long way from the other side of the venue to get over here. We were on the hustle. Very cold and very far away. But I want to thank everybody here in Canada for being gracious hosts and just for being an incredible fan base. You know, it's always amazing to come here and just the fans here are always loud, come to have a good time, and support their whether they're favorites or boo our flag, whatever that is. They they love doing it. So thank you very much. This and I feel like I say this a lot. This is the highest grossing WWE event in the history of Canada, and that's a country that has hosted WrestleManias, multiple WrestleManias. So really excited about that. The attendance tonight, 38,493. Hopefully they'll put the right number on the bottom of the screen. But really exciting. Like I mentioned, 43 U.S. states, 37 countries around the world. This Elimination Chamber crushed our existing sponsorship record, and everything that I was reading while I was walking over here really quickly, it seems like viewership across the board on both Peacock and on Netflix was just really, really strong. So an awful lot to talk about. Star-studded show, incredible storylines. I would throw out to everybody. Does it feel like we're on the road to WrestleMania now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have a few extra weeks, you gotta wait. And I know patience is hard to come by, but I think tonight was really the sort of, you know, the Rumble, and it's, you know, this year's been different, right? We had Netflix on Jan 6, and it was such a big event going into Saturday night's main event, going into the Rumble. It just makes for what seems like an even bigger build to the moment of Rumble. Rumble kicked off, and you know, that starts the road really officially to WrestleMania, but tonight sort of we put it in gear and stepped on the gas. And that's really what we're looking forward to doing. You know, the star power of tonight, Rock, Cena, Travis Scott, just the, you know, some of the biggest entertainers in the world were here tonight, as you saw. And you know, when you look at both chambers, just some of the biggest, most WWE superstar studded elimination chambers in history. I felt like they both delivered incredibly well. You know, Bianca Belair stepping into WrestleMania. Question is now, is it Rhea Ripley or is it Io Sky coming out of this Monday? Obviously the tag match, Trish Stratus coming here, you know, still at the end of, but still participating in just an amazing career. And for her at this point in her life to be able to come back here to Toronto, perform like she did tonight in front of her home, in front of her children and her family, and at the same point in time help support and grow a young talent like Tiffany, to help get her to the next level. That's what this is all about, right? It's about moments like that with the past coming back to help the future. And I thought that did a lot for Tiffany, and I thought the match itself was great. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is just another level of competitors. Just, you know, I don't know when they had their first match together, but it was very early in their careers. They've been doing this for years. They've been best of friends. They've been the worst of enemies, and it's always incredible. Tonight was one of the most incredible matches I've ever seen between the two of them. It's just no matter what you do with them, it delivers, and it usually delivers beyond. No matter how much I work with both Sammy and Kev and how long I've been working with them for years, I feel like you get to the place where as good as I expect it to be, it surpasses that every single time. And then I thought the men's chamber was incredible. I want to talk really quickly about Jade Cargill. I know sometimes that seemed like an odd build or an odd storytelling, the way it all went down over time. Sometimes they're very difficult. It's very difficult to do. It's very difficult to tell a story when you don't know the outcome that you have in front of you yet. Is she going to be back? Is she going to be back soon or really long? When is that? You just don't have any answers. So each week you're just kind of kicking the can down the road a little bit to see where you get to. Luckily, she was able to come back when she did right now. And we were able to get to the place we got to tonight. I thought that was an incredible moment. So happy for her to be able to come back and do that. Excited to see where that leads, both her and Naomi. Bianca Belair, as I mentioned before, stepping into her spot in a main event at WrestleMania, will either be against Rhea Ripley or Io Sky, but another incredible performance. And I also wanted to mention, it's great to have Alexa back. I think she adds so much to the women's division. And then Liv Morgan just continues to impress me. A woman that a year ago, many people would have said, it's great to have on the roster, and, she's a good hand and all those things. That just in this last, since May, has just become a megastar and continues to surpass that. To me, she stood out tonight as just a star in a spotlight, thriving, and looks, even when she's in pain, looks like she's having the greatest time of her life doing it. And the little nuances that she is picking up now, like she is, she's earned that spot at the top and earned a spot to be called one of the best women in the ring that we have right now. So incredibly proud of her. And then of course, Randy Orton coming back tonight. When you have a star the caliber of Randy Orton and an icon and just a legend like that is still sort of in the prime of his career, and you're able to get him back and get him rolling in a meaningful way, headed into WrestleMania, that's just incredible. So a lot of surprises tonight. Jade Cargill, Randy Orton, incredible matches, incredible moments, and then John Cena drops a nuke. I think, I don't know, I've been fortunate to be around a lot of the biggest things in this business in the last, say, 30 years. I don't know that I've ever felt a more powerful moment of the entirety of John Cena's career, being the one guy that you never really saw, at least in the in the beginning of his career, whatever, but as you move forward into that, when he really became John Cena and the champion, you didn't see this moment coming. And in a moment of, when you get to a place in your career where undoubtedly you have months left on your career and your dream and the thing that launched you to the rest of the world, to movie stardom, to everything else that he has in his life, it puts you in a different perspective, and it puts you in a place of like, it is now or never, and you can ride that out, and you can rest on the things that you have done, and you couldn't really blame John for doing that, right? For just saying, hey, I'm coming in, and he told you differently, but to say, hey, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna ride the nostalgia wave for the next 10 months. I'm gonna wave at everybody. I'm gonna do the the Nifty Tour. I'm going to come to your town. I'm going to say hi and expect you to react to the nostalgia of John Cena. Or somebody like him can double down and say, screw it, I want to be challenged right to the last moment. I want to go out on my shield. I want to give this everything I have. I want to be, I want to challenge myself. I want to do something different. I want to be afraid of it. I want to go out there and do it all. And that's the beauty of John Cena. John has always been the guy to do what is best here, but he's always been the guy to jump out on a limb. He's always been the guy to get out there, stick his neck on the line and gamble on himself, and he did that again tonight. And it was incredible to watch. You know, there was a moment when Cody was down in the ring and Pat and Cole and Wade were out there trying to help him to his feet. And Rock, Travis Scott, and John Cena were standing in the aisleway next to each other, that I thought to myself, just, holy shit, how does it ever get any bigger than that? That is just an epic moment. Like, I feel like this is one of those nights where 20 years from now, people are going to be saying, well, shit, I was there that night in Toronto, and it was incredible. You know, I don't know that you realize it in the moment, but that's the way I feel about tonight. This was one of those nights where I think people thought this will be a good PLE, and we just blew that expectation out of the water. So thrilled for everybody here, excited for all of it, and I'll open it up to questions.
Now let's begin in the first row, left-hand side.
Hey, Paul, Jan Murphy, Toronto Sun. There have been some pretty iconic moments happen in Toronto when you think about it. Hogan Warrior, Rock Hogan, Cena's return last year, and then tonight. Where do you think tonight fits into that sort of legacy that Toronto has, and is Toronto still a viable market for, say, WrestleMania return?
I think all markets are, right? If you know, that is a different animal now. That includes a bidding process and everything that goes into it, because it is such a massive business. Hundreds of millions of dollars pour into the city that brings WrestleMania in, right? The economic impact that we have going into a city where anywhere in the globe with something the scale of WrestleMania is just, it's incredible. It's an incredible windfall for them. But any place that has a vibrant fan base and has a building like this, like the Rogers Center, that we can go into and pack it with a lot of people and get them there from all over the globe. So it's definitely on the list. Where does tonight fit in that sort of list of epic moments? You don't know, right, until time passes. Like, I say this all the time about when we were in the Attitude Era. There was just these incredible things that happened, but for, I don't know, some of them were just seem like, well, it's Tuesday, right? Like, it's just what's happening. And then, you know, as things move on, you realize, oh my God, that's like one of those things that lives forever. I do feel tonight, though, up there watching it and having seen these kind of things, you know, the majority of my life and 30 years of my career here, and being, like I said, being fortunate enough and privileged enough to be around some of the biggest moments in this business, that felt like one of the biggest things I've ever seen happen and be a part of. You know, I remember Bruno telling me stories about Madison Square Garden when Koloff beat him, and that he had thought he had been hit in the ear, and he went deaf for a second because the 1, 2, 3 happened, and it was so silent that he thought like something happened. And when the first person yelled, he thought, oh God, thank God I can hear. It was just so stunning, and that's what I felt like happened to here tonight. You know, the look on people's faces ringside as we were taking camera shots, people were stunned, and I think they didn't, as much as maybe as it was happening, you're starting to think to yourself like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? Since Cena, oh my God, he's looking at Rock funny. Oh, like it it builds to the moment, and when it happens, you still can't believe it. But I got to tell you, it felt like one of the biggest things I've ever been a part of.
Right hand side, first row.
Emily May, Sportskeeda Wrestling.
Hi, Emily.
Hi. So we saw obviously this intense attack right now, and you touched on it a little bit. But do you agree that this was the right moment for John Cena to do this and attack Cody Rhodes? And do you have any updates on Cody's status after tonight's attack?
I believe that John Cena has been in this business and has been the focal point of this business, dedicated his life to it, put his body on the line to a point that he has earned the right to do it whenever he wants to do it. I believed wholeheartedly a month ago or whatever it was when he said at the Royal Rumble, like, screw that. I'm going to do what's best for business now. And I've changed my mind now. What's best for business for me is winning the WWE Championship. What's best for business is me main event WrestleMania. And he's running out of time to do that because John is one of the few people that I believe when he says, I am going to retire when this is over and you're not going to see me in the ring again. Will he be a part of WWE? Yes, he always will be. This is his home. Hell, he built half of this in my mind. But he's earned that right to do it when he wants to do it, to go after what he wants to go after in whatever way he sees fit to do it. For a while, people were throwing out on air a lot, the greatest of all time, right? John Cena, until I believe John Cena asked us to stop calling him the greatest of all time. But it's really easy to make the argument that he is. And I, watching that, again, I was watching it tonight with my headset on at a monitor thinking, holy shit, this is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And I cannot wait to see where it goes now, because even though we're creating it, I'll be honest, I don't know what the hell he's going to do as a heel, right? I don't know. If you flip back a year before Rock turned, I don't think anybody would have seen this final boss character and what we're doing with it. So the variables here are incredible. Where we can go with this is unlimited. And when you have people as good as Cody, as good as The Rock, as good as Cena, and you mix that all together, it's limitless. So, even though I'm part of that, I can't wait to see where it goes. I really mean that. There's a part of me as a fan that is just in awe of it right now.
Left side of row 2.
Chamat Kosandu for Screen Off Script. You're all about telling stories, Triple H, and that final segment had an F-bomb from Cody, had a heel turn from Cena. It was violent, it was bloody, and it was fantastic. And it really lit a massive fuse for WrestleMania. What I'd like to know is, could you just provide some insight into what this entire creative process was like for you, the individuals involved, what was the genesis for this segment, and how you finally think that everything landed tonight?
Like everything we do, I'm a really big proponent of collaboration. I want all the ideas. I want to throw them all out on the table. I want us to all look at all of them and then begin to have conversations around, what is the best thing? And then start to think of, okay, so out of those things, how can we tear those up and, blow them up and go in a completely different direction that nobody will see? It's hard sometimes to think of this shit that nobody sees because nobody sees it, right? And that includes you when you're doing it. And it's, at some point in time, little germs of ideas come in and what if, oh my God, what if, right? And it just begins to percolate. I'm fortunate in this time frame that I have some of the great minds to work with, right? Dwayne and I have been working together for, almost 30 years in some manner, right? Like year, anyways, right? And he's always been an epic storyteller. He's always been an epic guy to get outside of the box and like, let's do something different. And how can we blow this up and change expectations? How can we make this something that no one's ever seen before? It's really easy to go like, oh, let's do that. I saw this once. Let's do this angle. Let's do that, right? That's easy. Going into uncharted waters, trying things out that's never been done before or done in a different way, things that people won't see coming. That's a lot different and that's a lot more challenging. So you need everybody's ideas and thought processes. So it starts with a bunch of people coming up with great ideas to try to entertain our fans and lead them in a direction and then jerk them into the other direction when they don't see it coming, if we can do that. And people are pretty savvy, right? So they're tuned into a lot of the stuff we do and they sense things coming, and it's why we get so upset when we see spoilers and things leak. And believe me, half of the things that are spoilers and that leak are wrong, but like when you do get the ones that are out there where you're like, like it drives you nuts. The one thing about tonight that I absolutely loved, is it was nowhere. Because nobody knew. Like, no, when I say nobody knew here, like nobody. Right before the finish of the Elimination Chamber, I had to say to the truck, everybody lay out, I have all traffic on where we go next, because nobody knew what was coming, right? It was very, very tight circle of people, because we're just trying to entertain people and do it in a way that is amazing and next level and things they don't see coming. And just, I hate when people go to see the movie and then they have to tell everybody that they know what the finish of that movie is. Like, just let me watch it. Don't tell me. Like, I don't, like, geez, so where does it start? It starts with a group of people that just love this. It's in Rock's blood. He doesn't manufacture those goosebumps when he comes out. That's him. And I think that there's a massive group of people here internally at WWE, talent and everything, that is how they are. They live, breathe, sleep this, and want it to be epic. And we start there, and then it escalates. So it's a team effort here that I'm incredibly, incredibly proud of the people that are here.
For our final question, we'll head to the front row, left side.
Thank you. Keith Whittier with Ottawa Life magazine. Congratulations on an amazing PLE from beginning to end. Congratulations on your Hall of Fame induction.
Oh, thank you very much.
As the product continues to grow and grow, how far away are you guys from pulling the trigger and saying that we're just going to be doing stadiums for PLEs, and also perhaps looking at doing 2 nights for all PLEs? Because you do it for several of them already, and I know SummerSlam we're going to be doing it. You can make the argument you could do it for Rumble, you could do it for Survivor Series, you could have done it for this one. And then my other question is, as we go to WrestleMania, it looks like Cody Rhodes will be in the main event for night 2. What is the possibility of one of the women's championships being in the main event for night 1?
It's always possible. And so let me answer the second half of that first, and thank you for asking it. To me, it's always possible. As we build this, to me, nothing's locked into any spot. As we build this, what resonates the most will become the main events. So nothing is locked in. I believe that for talent, that's the best way to do it. Let everybody fight over the spot. Let everybody work their ass off. Let everybody try to do what we're trying to do, which is write things that are outside the box, do things people haven't seen. Let them get out there and challenge themselves, so that every moment that they have on TV, people forget how much value there is in the TV that we put out, right? So when you have a moment on TV, I don't care if it's 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, or 20 minutes. Maximize those minutes. Make the most out of it. Tell me why you should be in that main event. Go out there and don't go, boy, I hope they put me in the main event. Take it. Make it undeniable. That's what I want talent to do. I want talent, I want everybody that's a part of this to make it undeniable that they should be in the spot they should be in. I don't believe in giving anybody a spot. Well, the women should have the main event spot. Like, it's nice if it is the most interesting thing on the show and it's getting the biggest reaction, which when I put them in main events, it's because of that. They earn that. They earn that right, and they have earned the right through their work, their hard work, their sacrifice, their dedication, just like everybody else, to be treated like everybody else and work their ass off to get what they want, just like everybody else does. I don't treat them any differently. And the reason I don't treat them any differently is because I respect them too much to do it that way. To go back to the first part about 2 nights, is a large part of me that wants to come out there and slap the crap out of you for asking me that. I'm not doing 2-night pay-per-views once a month. It is just too much shit, right? Let's just get that out of the way. Look, stadium shows, when we have events that can be in stadium shows. Elimination Chamber historically is not a stadium show. And here we are tonight, right? We're on a hell of a run right now. So when we can do the biggest business we can do, there's just some moments where you feel like this is going to be big, this needs to be bigger than the arena. That said, not everything can be here. Not every episode of the show can be here. Not every PLE can be here, right? If you do, they're just not special. If you go back and you watch any show, you have to have setup episodes, you have to have peaks and valleys, you have to do that. It's a part of what we do. If everything is 2 nights in a stadium, it just all becomes the same. And I don't want to lose the fact that some of the biggest shows that we do, the loudest reactions, happen in arenas, right? On top of that, there's something magical sometimes about going to a place that holds, like sometimes I'm jealous still because we used to do it and now I'm outside of that realm, but like Sean goes to a 1,500 seat place or goes to a 2,000 seat place and it's incredible. Like the magic, the ambiance in that room is just off the chart, right? Sometimes I miss that. I miss going to Blackpool, England and going in that venue and just, it's deafening and like crazy. And some of my favorite shows we've ever done have been in places like that. So it's place by place, it's city by city, it's event by event, and we will grow this as we can. When we talk, so now let me take off my creative hat and go into the business mode, but when Nick and I talk about this business, and when we talk about it with Ari or whoever, but when we're talking about this business, where we want it to go, we're not looking to we'll just be a little bit bigger than WWE was last year. Let's be a little bit bigger. No, we're looking to take over. We're looking to do this as big as humanly possible. We want to be one of the biggest, if you want to call us a sport, you want to call us entertainment, however you want to label that, we want to be bigger than other sports that are out there. I'm not talking about the NFL because we ain't gonna touch them for all, but for everything else out there, it's fair game. And we want to go into these markets. We want to blow that out of the water. We want to take over. We want to go on Netflix and be the biggest thing they have live by far. We want to be on USA. We want to be on CW. We want to crush all that stuff and be the biggest thing in the world. I've said it a million times. Our competition is not other forms of sports entertainment. It is everything in the world. And that's where we're going. Sports, movies, whatever form of live entertainment we have out there, we're going to go and try to surpass, and we will. I believe this is the greatest form of entertainment in the world, bar none. It's why I do what I do. I love it beyond anything else. And when we do it well, it is beyond anything else. So wherever we gotta go, whatever we have to do, and the path will show itself of what we have to do to get it there. But day by day, week by week, year by year, event by event, we're gonna take over the world. Thank you guys very much.